everybody being here. We got a couple more chairs that need me in the back over there. I appreciate everybody coming to meet the A team, if you will. So, I like that. Let's jump into this. We're going to go through this pretty quick because I think this the questions, they got about 75 questions for everybody. So, all from when you were childhood and if not, you got pictures of a trip that we took to the Poconos in '71. All right, let's jump into it. So, did everybody get a packet? Everybody get a deal? No. Where are they at? Right over here. Yeah, they got all our information. So a couple of things real quick, you guys. Just, we always touch on the numbers of what's going on in the real estate business. 7,600 homes, that's down 1% over last week. We sold 462 homes in the last 7 days, and I think a week ago it was 413. So these numbers are always based on 7 days. Let's see, homes from 100,000 to 400,000, there's 2,600 on the market. And look at this, 244 price reductions. Homes are still being overpriced. And I know what people are saying, but I keep lowering my house and it's not overpriced. It's only worth what somebody else is willing to pay for it, no matter what, we all think. And sellers think. 400,000 to 800,000, there's 3,600 with 362 price reductions. So listen, at the end of the day, price sells homes, kitchens, and bathrooms. That's how homes get sold. Over 800,000, there's 1,200, 73 price reductions. This is where it shows the homes where they're at, located. I always follow these numbers myself personally because I like the withdrawn. In the last 7 days, 236, and I think last week was 119. Back on the market, 122. And then new to the market, 708 homes on the market. Again, you guys, we always want to follow the numbers, especially in these times we're in right now. So I think that's cool. This side over here is really just a cleaner way of showing it, but I still personally like that one myself. Let's go here. All right, Heather, the floor is yours, girl. Come on.
Okay.
You got 2 seconds. Okay, sit down.
Yeah, I'll make it really brief. Hi, everybody. I didn't make enough of these because I didn't expect a full room. I'm with Rock Title. My name is Heather Marriage. I'm the sales executive for both Summerlin and this Northwest office. Tim Sams, you guys might know him. He does a lot of the technology and a lot of our trainings. If you guys haven't met with me, I'd love the opportunity to meet with you guys. Downstairs, I do have an office with my cards, and I have a couple of these scattered around. We'll just tell you a little bit more about what Rock Title does and how we can help you.
Real quick, if you want to learn about lead gen, right after this presentation, 30 minutes of your time, we're going to talk about generating leads and open houses. So hang tight if you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's bring up Lisa. Where you at?
Thank you.
Where's she at? There she is.
Here I am.
Give her a big welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see a packed house today, so this is really nice. Lisa Waldeck with Achosa Home Warranty. I've got information over there. Big thing I really want to talk about right now is listing coverage. If you're not putting listing coverage on your listings, you're kind of missing out. We cover all of the appliances, including the refrigerator, the washer and dryer. We cover roof leaks and HVAC at no additional cost during that listing and escrow period. Keep in mind, homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. When you have that home inspection, we're seeing the same thing right now happen with furnaces as we did the AC in the summertime. The differentials are off whenever they're testing those furnaces. The home inspector will most likely suggest that you have an HVAC person go in and check that. You can actually use the warranty to have that file a claim and have that checked. So keep that in mind. Anytime you guys have the listing coverage and you get that request for repairs back from your sellers or from the buyer's agent, send a copy of that over to me. I'll let you know if any of that can be filed against the home warranty. So before you go back to your seller and talk to them and say, hey, I know this might look like a long laundry list of repairs, I've already talked to the home warranty rep about that warranty we put on the property. It looks like items 2 and 7 could fall under that coverage. So keep that in mind. If we haven't met yet, just let me know. The other thing too, if you guys have extra money sitting at closing and you've got to use seller concessions, builder concessions, don't let that go back to the seller. We can do 12-month, 18-month, 24-month, and 36-month warranties. So if you see money sitting there right before closing, get hold of me. We can extend that policy for your buyers and use that money. So thank you very much.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I was watching Stuart Varney this morning. Anybody see the new chip that Google came out with? It's not in full production yet. It's a quantum chip. The fastest supercomputers in the world to do quantum build is 10 septillions years. That's 10 with 24 zeros. This new chip will do in 5 minutes. And it fits in the palm of your hand. It's not in full production yet, but it's coming. But that's pretty wild that they're coming up with this stuff now. So if you didn't believe in Terminator, the machines are going to take over.
Is that septillion?
Septillion. I didn't even know what the hell that was.
Septillion.
Septillion is 24 zeros. 10 years. Septillion
Well, zero
years,
mark.
yes. Yeah, I don't even know what it is either. Oh, hang on back one there. Obviously, you guys know there's no Rev Up this month. This is our calendar that's downstairs. It's got all of our events on it, as a matter of fact. Our White Elephant is going to be next Tuesday, right here in the same room. We'll have breakfast. We're going to do mimosas. Rock Title and Epic are going to sponsor it. It'll be a lot of fun. I think again last time we had 50 agents did it, and it took us like 3 hours to get done. So please register with Mackenzie so we know who's all coming so we can prepare for that. Our office will be closed on Monday, December the 24th, and also on the 25th, obviously for Christmas. Normally on the 24th we're open half a day, but we're not going to do it this year. And then of course we'll be out of the office for the beginning of December 31st, and with half a day, and then January 2nd all day. Now, before we get into the panel, everybody knows that I'm a huge Rebel fan, football, and I'm super pissed at the nonsense that's went on. And so it makes me extremely mad that what happened, the way he did it, he just walked away, left, hey, we're out of here. And didn't say nothing to the public, didn't do anything, just left to produce. So please don't bring it up, because I'm still sore over it. Yeah, the coach left, our coach left. They got an offer to go to Purdue at the end of the season. And we're going to a bowl game on next Saturday, and he won't be here, he's gonna be there. And so it pisses me off. We bought into this. I feel like I got broke up by a girlfriend, that's what I felt. My wife's like, why are you so upset? I don't know. It's pissing me off. I've been upset for a week. So, anyways, all right, on that note, please don't bring it up again. I don't know why I did. I gotta work through the pain, I think is what I'm still trying to do.
I won't say I told you so.
Yeah, well, we did say that. But I mean, the thing, he's going to the Pac-10, and they did offer him $4.4 million a year.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but keep in mind, we were paying him 1.7. Okay, so I get it, but just the way he left. He should have done a press conference, said, hey, great for support, all blah, blah, blah. No, he just got on a plane. Yes.
Trying to build a bridge.
No, there is no bridge building. We're in destroy mode. Okay, so anyways, as you can tell, I'm taking it personal. It's like I got cheated on by a girlfriend. Okay? All right, on that
She
note.
didn't cheat on you, she left.
Yeah, she did, right, bitch.
Ghosted.
All right, okay, ladies, the floor is your, I don't need to introduce you, you'll do it on the way. Everybody introduce yourself.
My
Start
name's
here.
Jim. Thank you, Jim.
Yes, sorry,
You have a winning record, you're gonna get some offers, right?
I hope.
Jim Throne, Realty One Group, Green Valley, been in real estate for more years than I can count. Been the manager for about 11 years at the Green Valley branch, and I actually know a lot of you guys have spent some time up here covering for Jeff a few times, but
Yeah.
God, what a great turnout. You guys are awesome. What a phenomenal turnout.
In all fairness, I did threaten him and I sent him 7 emails every hour, okay? I had a couple go, yeah, I had to come. You sent me 12 emails.
We are impressed, man.
Thank you.
Good for you guys.
Well, I told him, I said, let's blow it up and show them what the Northwest can do.
Yeah,
So obviously you guys know
You're
me.
showing us.
And you do.
I'm Jeff Wallenberg. I've been in real estate for about 19 years. I've been a broker for I think about 12, worked at all different firms. That's my story.
Good
I know, we have been here 10 years in February.
And he's pissed about the,
Still pissed about the Rebels. It's gonna take months to get over it, trust me.
Many therapy sessions.
And then I go to the gym and I got about 10 people, because I wear a Rebel shirt, and 10 people I know come up to me, hey, but what happened? I'm like, fuck, you're bringing it all over again, like peeling the scab off. All right.
So at the Christmas party Friday night, we were having a discussion. I said, you know, he's gonna be gone. I'm sure it'll be, you know, he'll get an offer at no time. So when the came out, the story came out, I forwarded it to you.
send
and
it
I
to
said,
me.
hate to say I told you so, but.
Oh, it's Mark's fault.
Yeah, it's Mark's fault. Yeah, he sent the job offer.
I sent him back that emoji that does that.
Is there an emoji that does that?
Yes, there is.
You
Yes.
didn't know that? Anyways, I'm Mark Otero. I'm a corporate broker and branch manager of the Southwest office. Been just celebrating my 29th year in real estate. That was last month. And just celebrated my 5th year at Realty One Group. So that's my
Good morning, gang. And it's funny, there's people here, I think, from every office.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, right? I mean, it's very nice. Good job. Jeff. How many emails? 7, 12?
Yeah, 70. The girl showed me how to stagger them and send them out automatically, so that helped.
Good morning, Tim Kelly Kiernan. I run the Summerlin office, been a realtor 16 years. Me and Mark started almost the same day at Realty One Group. What a combo plan that was when we came on board in November of 2019. And
I was before him.
he was. He beat me by a week. Yes.
We're in Northwest for
I was.
We
Oh,
had you
yeah,
for
you
a
had to
Yes.
go there, and I couldn't. I had to go. Just had to go. This guy, come on.
He's not a Rebel fan, so we ran him off.
But very proud to work for Realty One Group and help all of you guys out whenever I can.
I am Wendy Scheller. I am the sales manager at the Summerlin office. I've been licensed for 20 years. I've been at Realty One Group for 16 years as an agent and then a year and a half as the sales manager.
The new guy.
Morning, I'm David Montanaro. I'm the sales manager in Green Valley. Real estate is actually a second career for me. I was licensed in 2018. I got my broker salesperson license in 2022, and I've been at Realty One for, it's like 2 months and 6 years. So, yeah,
All right.
All right, well, if you guys don't know us, I'm Mackenzie. I've been in the Northwest office for 4 years now. I'm office administrator and compliance, and this is my other half.
I'm Katie. I've been here for almost 3 years, and yeah, we're compliance too now, which has been a really awesome change.
So,
You guys, let's give them a really big hand for it. They're the ones that make the machine spin.
there's just 3 of us in the Northwest. It's just Jeff, Katie, and myself. So, be patient with us, but we keep up
We
with
do our
everyone else.
best.
So, yeah. All right, well, nonetheless, we'll get it started. I'll let Katie start us off.
All right. What is your favorite part about working with agents every day?
Charge you out early.
My
Easy.
favorite part about work
With agents every day.
with every day is help, honestly, that's the easy question. When I see the joy in their eyes, when I actually have been able to help them solve a problem they thought was unsolvable, and it's like, it usually gets down to, what do I tell them? I always say, what's the truth? What's the truth? Try the truth. Not that they're lying or anything, but it's just that they want to come up, they want to concoct some big story. I said,
Right.
the truth will always be the answer, and when they do, that, in fact, that's good advice. Go on, yeah, just put it that way. It's good advice. When you deal with a lot of problems, a lot of difficulties, if you just dig into the truth of what really happened, and you don't be afraid to let the other agent know, the other side know, usually they'll go, I get it, okay? I get it, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's my favorite part.
I think my favorite part is, especially I've seen a lot of agents we've helped from getting into business to being huge successes right now. So I think that's probably the biggest joy that I get is watching and coaching and training agents. And I think I like it most.
Yes, it's same thing. So I've been in leadership for a lot of years, and watching the agents go from brand spanking new agents on to successful agents, and then for them to come to me like years and years, sometimes 10 years later, and just say, thank you so much for what you did for me way back then. It's super, super rewarding.
We all probably have the same answer. You know, hiring someone.
Are you gonna copy us?
Pretty much. That's why I sat down this end here. Yeah, we like seeing the success. I really like when a mentee gets their first like $18,000 check and they pee their pants. Like, ooh, I really can make this kind of money, and I'm used to making $15 an hour at the Bellagio. So yeah, I think our joy is seeing you guys succeed. Right?
Yes, and I think my favorite part is training them and then watching them have their first transaction and then transitioning out of their full-time job into real estate full-time. That's fun.
For me lately, it's been meeting new agents and hearing their stories and learning about what they do and how they do it, how long they've been doing it. what they did before, excuse me, and then just the variety of questions that I've been getting. There's always something new in real estate. No one knows everything. That's been it for me.
All right. With all these new agents, what's one piece of advice you consistently give to agents who are just starting out?
One piece of advice, well, agents are just starting out. It's kind of frustrating for us to, we all want you to know what we already know, that if you just do the work, the money and the success will come. But that's the frustrating part. So what I guess we want you to know is, do the work. Show up at meetings like this right here. Go to training. Just do the work, and it'll happen. I know a lot of folks get frustrated because it doesn't happen fast enough, and it's a tough business. Let's face it, right? It's very tough. So if you think it's easy, it's a long road ahead of you. So do the work and do what these guys tell you. Do what your trainers tell you, and you'll be fine.
My biggest thing is, and you guys know I talk about this a lot, is treat it like a business. Take the emotion out of it, treat it like a business, and you can succeed. Show up, be prepared, know how to read a contract, know what's going on in the market. I mean, I think if you do all that, you can succeed in this business.
So I ask agents all the time, what do you think your job as a realtor is? And they tell me, well, it's to show homes, to write offers, to negotiate repairs, to take listings. And those are all things that you need to learn to do. You need to be really good at it, but that's not your job. Your job as a realtor is to find people that want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. That's your job. If you wake up in the morning and you don't have appointments with people that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you should be doing whatever lead generation you want to do. And there's like 30 or 40 different ways to generate leads in this business. You just should be doing your lead generation to find those and make those appointments.
Lead gen.
Lead gen.
What was the question?
What's one
down
piece
here,
of
Ken?
advice you consistently give out to agents who are just starting out?
Okay, what
Advice
is
for
this?
newbies.
Newbies, all right, the newbies, I'll give you a frustration I have with brand new agents, okay? Is the agent that's been here 9 months, hasn't done a deal yet, but has come to all the rev-up classes. And you see them periodically at meetings, and then 9 months, they have a buyer, they're showing them homes, you walk them through how to do that. They wanna make an offer, hey Tim, I wanna make an offer for my gal, Daniela. Great, go into Matrix and type up the RPA and send it to me, and Wendy will proofread it. How do I get into Matrix again, Tim? Like, they forgot. They've been here 6 or 9 months and they don't know how to get into Matrix, So my point is that for what it's worth, we have more training classes that Dave and Wendy and we all do, as you know by this calendar. But it's what you do when you're not here, when you're at home, when you're looking in the mirror, practicing handling objections. I talk about my nephew Blake, he's now 25, but when he was 7, he wanted to be a karate expert. So I spent all this money at karate, took lessons, and the dojo guy said, for every hour here, Blake, for the week, 10 hours at home practicing. I got the thing in the garage, the head bag, he looked like the Michelin man. Never practiced. He'd go to Saturday, they beat the shit out of him. Because he never practiced. He never practiced. So needless to say, that didn't last. That's what's gonna happen to a lot of you guys, hopefully not. Follow what we're telling you, but you have to do stuff when we don't see you to really get good at this, or else you're gonna keep calling us for silly questions, and we're gonna tell you that that's a silly question, and you should know that answer by now.
One piece of advice, actually a couple of them, is answer your phone, and then if you don't answer your phone, please respond back. Like, don't wait a week or just think that they'll call back, because that's if you've been in real estate long enough, which a bunch of us have, that's the #1 frustration is nobody communicates well, especially now. It's gotten less and less and less. So just answer the phone and call them back if you can't answer.
To add on to what everybody else already said, I always advise agents to act ethically, especially in the beginning. If you get into the habit of cutting corners and dancing around that line in the sand, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to blur the line between right and wrong. And no one wants to be invited down to a division hearing.
That's true.
Because if you go to the division, we have to go to the division too. We don't like that.
It's not as much
Most
fun
didn't
as it
have
sounds
this because
anyway.
the
It's always good to go down there to the hearings. It really is. You really learn a lot, but you never want to be an invited guest down there.
Just go to the other brokerages when they don't like me.
Yes.
All right.
What is a fun tradition every year that brings your office together?
Let's start down there.
Or no, no onions. We did a Thanksgiving turkey ham thing, and I was shocked how many people showed up, and that was actually a lot of fun. We set the conference room up, like the tables in a U, and we kind of just did family style, and Jim got up and talked. I don't think anyone knew what he was saying, but got up and spoke, and it was really good because people just grabbed a seat and sat down, and we had a lot of new people at our office. I think half of them didn't know anyone in the room, and it turned out to be a lot of fun. And cleanup was super easy. Everything was plastic and paper right in the garbage. So.
I think ours is the White Elephant Party. I did ours the first time last year. I was like, oh my God. So,
I'm sorry, what is that? That's the second time someone's mentioned that. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna find out.
You'll find out.
Yeah, that's
Are
ours.
you guys doing the white elephant?
Is it?
Oh, you're not gonna find out. You're not gonna find out.
Okay.
Well, you'll have to come to our White Elephant and find out.
Really?
We might have to do one then.
Okay.
My favorite
We're doing
event,
one.
Katie?
Yeah.
Anything that has free food and alcohol. You guys will show up. Swear to God, let's be honest, you guys will show up. But
Well,
actually,
especially.
if it's in the office, it's the White Elephant. If it's outside the office, we just did our party at Stoney's, you guys did it too, it was phenomenal. Holy moly, I mean, it was great. I don't know if we'll do it there next year, we'll see, but the whole cowboy thing was a really big hit, so. And we do a lot of these events, as you guys know. There's a holiday party, there's a barbecue, Jeff does the barbecue in the back, flipping burgers, and you know, Mark does pizza. He has a pizza thing, he makes pizza for the office, you know? So, but we're preaching to you guys that always come. Thank God for you guys. You guys are the ones that participate. You gotta tell other agents that don't participate, hey, come to the pizza thing that Mark's doing. Or the White Elephant in summer, and that'll get the word out, I think.
So we do so many, and we all do so many events. Almost every month there's something going on, whether it's in the office or out the office. I love when we do the Aviators baseball game, we go as a group. But probably, and Tim just mentioned, my favorite in the office is pizzas. I bring my pizza oven, and I made, I think, 16 or 18 pizzas. A lot of work, but a lot of fun. Everybody enjoyed it.
I think two things for me. The one that we do is the Cinco de Mayo taco party. I think that's one of my favorites. And then margaritas as well. And then I really enjoy our Christmas holiday party. I think that's it's one of my favorite events that we do. These two, and then well, you guys as well. They're the ones who do it all. They're the ones who do. We just show up, but them are my two favorite events that I think we do the best. We have a ton of them, Thanksgiving and all that, but these girls do it.
Well, when I think about the best events, we've been doing for about 5 years now, maybe a little bit longer. Breakfast with the Builders. By the way, you're all invited to go to that. It's going to be probably sometime in January, maybe February, but it's a great turnout. We invite all the builders. They provide breakfast for everyone. They have like booths, like a convention kind of just eat and talk to the builders, get all the information about what they're selling. We get a great turnout. We probably have 200, maybe sometimes 300 people, but I want to stress, you guys, everyone at Realty One Group is invited, and we get a lot of people from all the offices as well. So be there when you see the flyer come out. Just go to it. You're gonna have a great time. So.
Alrighty. Alright, switching gears. We had a lot of document and commission changes this year with the RPA and all that. How should agents explain these updates to buyers in a way that builds trust and confidence?
Has everybody got 6 hours? Wow.
So what was it? So
That's a great question.
part of the BBRA, how
Yeah, with the BBRA, RPA changes, how can a lot of clients are coming and, they don't want to sign the BBRA, they have a lot of concerns. How can agents, in a short and sweet way, since we are...
Well, first of all, I would say you need to learn it, hands down, cold, and then do some role playing where they get a confidence level under different scenarios. We had the other day where people just don't want to, the guy just didn't want to sign it. He flat out said, I'm not going to sign it. So I had to walk the agent through the fact that it's not an option anymore, you have to sign it. So I these guys are going to give some great advice on how to explain it. I would just say, learn it to the point where you're actually, you know how to present it well. Under different scenarios. So, yeah.
I mean, you guys, my deal, and you guys know this, is know your value. Show that you're worth it, and if they, I mean, in that scenario right there, hey, I don't wanna sign it, okay, cool, let's get up and escort him to the door and move on with your life. That's me. And, listen, I'm gonna argue this guy, we haven't even gotten the deal yet, and I'm arguing with him over paying me. So that's where I would move on. But I think at the end of the day, we have to know our value. We have to know that we know the contract, we understand what we're doing, we know what's happening in the business, and I think you can win the battle. And if they don't wanna sign it, they're gonna sign it with somebody if he wants to buy a house. But I'd move on. I have very little patience for that kind of, I mean, are you gonna, what happens when you argue with your doctor? What does he do? Get out, right? And what do we do? Well, please sign it, follow him around the room, no. Next. So, know your value, know how to present it, and if they don't buy it, move on. I mean, at the end of the day, do we wanna do deals, or do we wanna fight and argue with one person or something?
So first of all, remember 6 months ago, 8 months ago, before this all went into effect, how scared everyone was? How like, oh my God, we're not gonna make any more money anymore, it's gonna be so difficult. Well, I've been talking to a lot of agents and a lot of team leaders lately, and it's, agents are making more per transaction now than they did before. Why is that? Because they're writing 2.5% or 3% in when they're representing the buyer. When they're taking a listing, they're taking it at 3%. Whereas before, there was a lot of 1s, 1.5s, 2% in the MLS, and we would just take it. So I also would encourage you all to go into realtor.info. Realtor.info. There's all sorts of bulletins that NAR has put out, and these are meant for the consumer, whether it's for the buyer or the seller, and they're really, really good. Some of them, it's like, you know, they have a question here, this is going to answer it all for you. Or you can email it over to your client. Realtor.info, a lot of great information there.
And to piggyback on Mark's, there's another site, I think it's the same one, facts.realtor.
Same.
Same site, and about, I don't know, well, let me go back, since August 17th, has anything really changed?
No. I do not. That my time is valuable, and if you wanna work with me and I have to set time aside for you, you're gonna dedicate yourself to me, and I'm gonna dedicate myself to you. So, it's just how you wanna do your business, but just, like they said, know the document, know how to explain it. We have a lot of agents that come to us, and they're like, I just sent it to, and I'd like to sign in. Now they're disputing this and this and that. Well, because you never explained it to them. So just explain it to them up front, and if they don't wanna sign it, move on, but don't get halfway through your deal and then stuck disputing it, and now you've got problems. So just do it up front. That's my suggestion.
I've used an agency agreement for almost all of my buyers, so this change wasn't really a big thing for me. But one thing that I've always been consistent with, for me, it's about expectations and presentation. If you understand what you're presenting, great. Also to the presentation itself. If you say to your client, oh my God, I can't believe we have this new form, and you will immediately heighten their anxiety. Be calm. It's just the way it is. It's a form, it's a fee. It's the new BVRA in comparison to the BVA really protects the seller's rights. It spells out exactly what the expectation of agency is. BVA, for anyone who is familiar with it, well, you know what? That kind of leaned a little more in our favor than it does now. So just being calm. As far as the commission question, commissions have always been negotiable. Not many people actually negotiated them, but they've always been negotiable, right? There's never been set commissions. So the degree of what has changed is really minimal. But what happened is everybody is listening to the talking heads on TV that are making a bigger deal of it than it is. So calm, set the expectation from the minute you start communicating with your potential clients, and then present it accurately, correctly, calmly.
That was all great. And on a lighter note now, because I knew that one would be a lot, give you guys an easier question. If Santa were house hunting, what's one feature you think he would have in his must-have dream home?
What the hell, chimney, I guess.
All right.
I'd say a 65-foot garage.
A big place where he can have all of his reindeer.
All right, big backyard, land. All right.
Stables.
RV parking, right? Who's RV parking?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Flat roof without solar panels.
That's good.
All right, next gen suite for the elves and the white elephant.
No way. Bring that part
Clearly
house
don't
down.
know what a white elephant
Aside from that, according to Wendy, there's stacks, so I'm okay.
Well, great answers.
Yeah.
That was good though.
What's one habit you see in top performing agents that others could benefit from doing?
Work ethic, work ethic, work ethic. And I see Suzanne, work ethic, right? I mean, Chad Roberts from my office sitting right there has the strongest work ethic, one of the strongest work I've ever seen. And he constantly gets the job done, and he's top performer ever since I've been there for over 11 years. And he never lets up. Mark said it earlier. Your job is to find customers. You gotta be prospecting all the time. So the one characteristic I find is that that's what they're doing. They're prospecting all the time. If they're in line at Trader Joe's, they're talking to people, they always have that in the back of their mind. They're not that person that talks about real estate 24 hours a day, but it's always in the back of their mind. They see an opportunity, they strike. They say, this is the moment where I'm gonna say, oh, I'm in real estate. You happen to be looking for a house, whatever that line might be. I'll just say this, I'll finish with this. Find a top producer and just see what they do. Find several top producers and watch them. Spend a day with them if they let you. And you'll get a real education more so than you will ever get in real estate ever. And it'll just hit you like a ton of bricks. That, this is not all about hanging out at the office drinking coffee with a bunch of realtors. This is like, I gotta get out there. I gotta make this happen. I've done this a long time. I've been where you're at. Many days I woke up with nothing to do, no clients, nowhere to go, and I thought, what the hell am I gonna do? What am I gonna do today? So you have to keep
Fix the
pushing forward.
sprinkler, do the oil
Yeah,
change.
maybe this is the day I'll do this. Then you start doing that, and you fall off of real estate, and eventually it leaves you. So every day you've got to do something. Get a plan. Get a plan every day, and work that plan. It sounds boring, but it's actually a lot of fun when you start making good money. This business is the best in the world when you start making money, and you have a client base that you can get referrals from and all that. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, that was a long answer first. We're basically saying work ethic.
Jim, I think you're 100% correct. I think it's also, I think a lot of agents see people that are doing a lot of deals and think they're lucky. They've been in it for 10, 15, 20 years. It's the little things that nobody ever sees a top producer doing. They never see him at 10 o'clock on a Friday putting a deal together. They never see him doing whatever it is to take. I mean, a lot of the top producers I know in my office, and Suzanne, Lee, that girl right there, Allison, they're so sweet. They never get flustered. They never get nasty. They never get mean. They're always smiling. And I think that's the biggest thing. We see more nasty agents in real estate. It's like, we're all on the same page. We're trying to get it done for a buyer and seller. Why are you being nasty about it, mean and rude? But I think the biggest thing is doing the little things that nobody ever sees you doing. And the work ethic is just having fun with it and enjoying it.
So I've interviewed hundreds, if not thousands, of agents over the years. And there's been agents where I interview and I'm thinking, this guy or gal is going to be amazing, and they flame out after 3 months. Or there's been others I'm thinking, I don't know if this one's gonna cut it. But I hire them anyways, it's all about agent count. Not really, sort of.
It's just.
But here's the thing is, sometimes those agents that you don't think are gonna be any good, they end up being amazing agents.
So true.
And what's the difference between the two? These guys both just mentioned it. It's grit, it's hustle, it's working your I almost said the F word.
We use it for sensitive.
You are Northwest.
It's working your ass off. Those are the agents that make it. And it doesn't matter if you interview well, but it's working your tail off.
They hit everything. I think the difference, though, we have 50 people here. You don't have to raise your hand. just look around, how many of you do this as your full-time job, and how many of you do this as a part-time job? There's a big difference, okay? When we interview mentees all the time, I always ask them, so Heather, why do you want to become a realtor? And Heather was, a manager at MGM for 15 years. Well, the freedom, unlimited income, I love people, I love getting home.
I love houses.
Yeah, I love houses.
And then you get what you hate people.
Yeah. And then I say, Heather, that's great, but 6 months from now, or a year from now, those same reasons are the reasons you're gonna fail. Because you're not gonna come to work. You're not gonna come to a meeting, because you don't have to come to the meeting. We're not paying you to be here. There's no $20 an hour to show up. Those are the agents that think it's easy. And in 9 months, call it me and Wendy, how do I get into Matrix? And we just wanna punch them in the face. Really, think about it, how do I get into Matrix if you've been here 9 months? So I think you just have to decide if you're part-time or full-time. If you're full-time, you gotta come into the office as often as you can, okay? Go to every free CE class at every company in town. That's what I did for years. I went to so many classes at Keller Williams, they thought I worked at Keller Williams, from 2008 to 2008. There was 3 offices right near my RE/MAX office. Every time I got an email, I went to that class. They thought I was a KWH, I swear to I'm not. That's how often I was there. And that's how I learned all this stuff. But it all goes back to, like they said, you have to put in the effort. You gotta put in the time, okay? If you do it part-time, you're gonna make, 30 grand. You put in 60 hours a week, you're gonna make $300,000, like some people in this room make. So it's really a mindset kind of thing.
I think it's time blocking, scheduling, and being consistent, because the days get away from us. It's like they were saying, it's like, what am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna fix the sprinklers. Well, if you know from, 8 to 12, you're going to be making phone calls, you've already got it on your schedule. Even if you don't have a list of numbers to call, at least it's there, so then you're like, okay, well, in that time, I'm gonna find that list of numbers. So just stay consistent with what you're gonna do every day. If you only wanna work 3 days a week full-time and then just socialize, because I don't mean socialize in a bad way. I got most of my business from being out there, being face-to-face. So when I say socializing, go to the grocery store, go to the gym, go and join some clubs and things like that. But you can consistently work 3 days a week, time blocking and setting up your schedule of what you want to do, and then just be consistent about it those 3 days, and then you're open for the rest to do whatever you want.
So in addition to the great things that everybody has already said, now that we're down at the end of the line, I had a boss years ago at my first job out of college, and he said to me, you can be right or you can be rich, but you can't be both. And in this industry, what I've noticed, people think negotiating means just pounding the other side into submission. And that's not what negotiating is. Negotiating is the very definition of compromise. Whether you are representing a buyer or a seller, you have willing, able clients who want to close a transaction. That's your job. Compromise and get it across the finish line. Help your sellers sell their house, your buyers buy their house. And really successful agents that I have worked with understand that. You're not going to get everything. Get the best you can, but understand everything is going to be give and take, unless we're in extreme markets, which, those come and go. But in a more balanced market, it's all about finding what everybody can live with. This one boss used to say to me, it's just a matter of having everybody just miserable enough that they still want to do it. So hopefully everybody happy enough that they really want it.
I love it.
Great advice, Dave. Great advice.
All right, well, we'll start down there then.
Oh, me and my big mouth.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you guys have all dealt with this before. What's your advice for agents dealing with difficult clients or transactions? Because I'm sure that's a big part of your guys' jobs as brokers.
So for me, it falls back to setting the correct expectation, which you may have to reinforce multiple times throughout the transaction. But understanding that with everything else, there has to be limits. There are limits as to what you can and can't do. There are limits on what you can and can't do based on the license you hold. And making sure that you're communicating that correctly and that people understand that at the end of the day, we're here to help, but to the best of my knowledge, no one has a magic wand or a crystal ball. So you have to deal with it as it comes and maintaining, again, that constant level of calm. Things come up, right? Not every issue in real estate is the house getting struck by lightning and burning to the ground, right? It's a lot of little things that tend to annoy people and then set them off. So maintain the temperature, set the expectation, and always forward, 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 forward. Goal is to close. At the end of the day, everything else is conversation. Close the transaction.
I agree with that, just staying calm, but, the thing is that I think it's such a high anxiety, that the whole process is high anxiety for both sides. So our job is to really just calm them down, but also don't be pushed and stepped on, like we are not their doormats, and sometimes they think that I can treat you anyway because you're just in it for the commission. So you need to let them know, and again, it's about your posture. I'm here, you've hired me to do this for you, so let me help you through the transaction. And you don't do it every day, so let me educate you on how this works on every day. And I think it would maybe ease a little bit of tension, but.
I think they hit it on the head. That buyer consultation now that we've never had before, because we meet them at the house, when they called you from the Zillow property, oh, I'll meet you at the house. And there was really no buyer consultation. You just showed them the house and wrote the offer. That's not happening anymore. So that those just recently, an agent called me and said, Tim, I didn't collect the transaction fee at closing. You guys know what I mean, right? She collected the money, she thought, from Tim the buyer, but it wasn't in the closing package. So she said, how come? I said, I don't know. What am I, clairvoyant? How do I know why he's not there? So I said, did you call your client? Yeah, I called Tim, and he signed the notice of compensation. Did you explain to Tim what that was? She went silent. She didn't. She sent him the 47 forms to sign. He signed them all, but never explained the $600 transaction fee, the $200 compliance, and Tim the buyer said, I'm not paying it. You didn't tell me. But if he told Tim, he probably would have paid it. So that initial meeting is really, really important, okay? And explaining them, we have a form in Summerlin, it's called contract to close. Stupid form I made up a million years ago. From the time you meet them, and they get the pre-approval letter, to the end when you buy them a gift, if you're so inclined. And all the steps. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. And we give that to every buyer. So they know where they're at in the process, because they don't know what happens next. You know, they think, we had buyers in recently that thought when they signed, the seller would be there and hand them the keys. Because in Missouri, that's how they do it. In New Jersey, that's how you do it. You sign and, oh, great job, Tim. I'm so glad I'm moving into your house. Here's the keys. We don't do that here. If you don't explain that to your clients, they're gonna think you're bamboozling them, or you're hiding something from them. So that initial meeting is really, really important. Right, Mark?
Absolutely. Motivation. You need to know your client's motivation, whether you're working with a buyer or a seller. Not only do you need to know your client's motivation, you need to know the other client's motivation as well. Little story, because we're all big on stories up here. So I had a new agent that was representing the buyer, and the inspection came in, and there were some pretty major things on that inspection. And the agent was afraid to call the other agent because the other agent was a very experienced, long time, and one of those agents that threw their weight around. I've been in the business 20 some odd years.
That's when you get scared when they say that.
I totally get scared. She was afraid to call, so I called. But before that, I said, any idea what the seller's motivation is to sell? Really important in negotiating. So she had no idea. I mean, it's really easy when you're talking to listing agents. Oh, by the way, why is your seller selling? And just to find out. Well, they didn't ask that question. So when I called the agent and was going over the inspection with them on all the things that needed to be done, and like I said, there's a pretty extensive list, some pretty serious things on there. And I said, oh, by the way, why is your seller selling? And I come to find out that they'd already bought a house out of state. So they are really, really motivated. So I just talked to them and explained, and then I explained, yeah, you know what? If your seller does not take this, does not do this, you're going to have to disclose all this to the new buyer as well. So that agent went back to the seller and explained that to him, and ended up getting a $15,000 credit. So motivation is absolutely key.
Very good. I think set the expectations up front. By the way, I'm not calling the other side with your fucking request prepared. So don't even ask me. I am not doing that nonsense. Anyway.
Because he's afraid.
Yeah, no, I'm not afraid. I ain't doing it. Grow up. You're a freaking full-on realtor. I'm not babysitting you like that. Good for you. Anyways, set it up front, how it works. Let them know what's going on. Make sure you understand your clients understand what they're getting into. Mr. Buyer, you're buying a house that's 25 years old. The air conditioner's probably 25 years. The blah, 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 right? Heating, plumbing, air conditioning, that's the most important things, not the cracked tile or the screen missing. So you gotta be really careful, I think, in that area, but that's some of the expectations up front. Be calm about it, don't. The worst thing is when the other side is screaming and carrying on, which we all seen. I just hang up on them, I'm not going down that road with this nonsense, right? We're trying to sell real estate here. We're not splitting the atom. And so just slow it down. Talk very calmly, because that really freaks them out when you talk calm, you're not freaking out with them. And just set the expectation up front. This is what's going to happen. Here's what's going on. Here's what we're going to ask for. Here's what the request prepares. I mean, I don't think enough agents really talk to their buyers about, hey, when we do an inspection on this 25-year-old house, we're not expecting the tile and the carpet and the paint, okay? We want plumbing, air conditioning, heating. The most important things is what we're looking for, not the other. And by the way, Mr. Buyer, they're not gonna replace the air conditioner on the way out either. I hear that one all the time. Well, it's 25 years old, so they replaced the unit? It's working, why would they replace it? Well, because it's old, what? Go buy a new house. If you wanna do that, let's go buy a new house and quit messing around with it. So they set them up front, have that conversation. I think it's the most important thing.
I don't know if I can add to any of that, because it was all very well said. I love the expectation part, I really do, because if you don't set the expectation, you're gonna constantly be putting out fires along the way, at every turn. But I'll say this, as long as I've been doing this, I've kind of learned something recently, that when you get into a battle with whether it be an agent, a buyer, a client, whatever, you get in, let some time go by before you jump on the phone and like return that call, whether you have some anger in you, an emotion in you. Let some time go by so you can calm down. You'd be surprised what 3 hours can do. Because everyone can kind of just calm the.
There's sense enhancers, you get it?
And you call back, and it's like a new day. It's like, even if you can, wait for the next day. Because you wake up, it's just amazing. Don't get engaged. You start engaging back and forth, and you want to get this done like right effing now. Let some time go by. It works.
All right, ladies.
If you could gift one thing to every agent in your office for this Christmas, what would it be?
You had all the money in the world. You could give
One thing.
to every agent in the office. Wow. Don't get any ideas, guys. I mean, obviously, hypotheticals here.
Right.
Hypothetically, let's see.
I can answer that. If I had all the money in the world,
All the money in the world, yeah.
and I would find it, okay, all the agents, this sounds corny, but I would actually do this. I would say, pick the coach that you want to get with, whether it be Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry, whatever. And I'll sign you up for the best course you can ever imagine. The premium package, whatever the hell it is. And that's what I would give them.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Wow. That's it. I was thinking completely other end. I was gonna do the Oprah thing. Everybody's getting a Porsche. Well, I was thinking.
Can I be your agent?
Yeah, screw the coach. You're getting a new car.
I'm calling you Oprah from now on. Oprah!
In the own color you want too. Black and gold, preferably. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not giving you no coaching session. Dad.
It's supposed to be a gift to make them better realtors.
Yeah, it is. Trust me, a Porsche will do that.
It doesn't clarify. That wasn't the
Would
question.
you rather buy your own Porsche and have it given to you? No, come on.
Hell no! Anybody wants to give me a car, I'll gladly accept
Yeah, I
it.
got you. Yeah, I'll
It's funny, when the question was answered, those are really both, because, we're both Porsche lovers, and I'm a big believer in coaching as well. So I'm gonna go along with what Jim said, and I'm a big believer in coaching. So I,
Boo! Boo!
but I also have a Porsche.
Ain't nobody gifting out transactions?
Hell no.
All right, I'll be the boring one. On the coaching thing, I just caught it last night. There's a Tom Ferry interviews his father, Mike Ferry. for 90 minutes on his YouTube channel. You need to watch it. It's fascinating. It goes back to when Tom Ferry started,
Wow.
when Jim started.
I gotta see
You know,
that.
that's how far back it goes. It goes way back to the 70s. What I would, honestly, on a real boring one,
Yeah, he cut you to the quick.
No, not quite,
Yeah,
not
pretty much.
quite there.
I think everyone needs to have the gift of patience. You need to be patient, okay? New agents are impatient. Hey, Tim, I gotta type up this offer right away, and my buyer's gotta sign up right away, and I gotta get it to the listing agent tonight or else. No, you don't have to. That's just your exuberance, you're excited, okay? There's more time in the game than you think, okay? I mean, I don't know, I'm not speaking for these guys, but when I was a listing agent, I'm not saying I exaggerated to a buyer's agent about the status of my listing, you know? Chad would say, hey, Tim, you have any offers? Yeah, Chad. Yeah, I got a few. Yeah, I don't have any. Okay? I'm not saying that's a trade. You shouldn't do that. So don't do that. But we know agents do it all the time. They do it all the time. So to get you to move as a buyer's agent. But just practice patience, really. Take a breath, like Jim said. You're pissed off. You want to call up that agent and just, ream him or her. Don't. Take a breath, go take a pee, go drink a soda, do something. And then recollect yourself, and you'd be surprised. The outcome will be much.
So you want to gift patience?
Yeah, that's not much of a gift.
That sounds like alcohol to me.
This is something that's gonna make them money. I wanna make them money.
I'd rather have tequila.
I said I was gonna be a little more. Yeah.
If I had all the money in the world, I think I'd give each agent $10,000 a year to just take a vacation and take some time off, because I think you forget to do that.
Yeah, what about us?
Because we work, forget to take care of ourselves and spend the time with our families and whatnot, so we have to maybe separate, yeah, whatever you want, yeah.
That's really a bribe, you're giving them a bribe.
No,
So, yeah,
I'm giving them a vacation.
I'd give him a box of pens.
One transaction.
Yeah, you could have.
I think I would give everybody a class in effective marketing and a marketing budget,
I thought mine was that.
so that they could experiment and explore and hopefully find some things that work for them. I would also give them better magnets for these Realty One pens. Sorry, that's an inside joke, because these little Realty One pens, the magnets are awful. I've lost mine 6 times since I left the house, so those 2 things.
All right, well, I know I had the best one, so.
Yeah.
You cannot do a porch,
All
I'm
right,
sorry. No.
you know, what we could do, you guys, we're getting up on the hour. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask any of us? Please.
Will we allowed to sell the porch?
Absolutely, Jeff Howard, you can do whatever you want.
Once you get the title.
I'll tell you what, let it be a Porsche or $200,000, whatever you want. Go
I have a
ahead.
question. So I was one of those people always get DBA, so I don't have any problem asking buyer to sign. But now I don't know what is going to be the conversation with seller to ask them, because I'm friend with all of my clients, and they are asking me, they're sending me from different states that they are now, sending me the emails that they got from NAR that send all the information they're gonna get money from the settlement. And I know it's not us paying
Really?
them.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know what is that, and they asking me, so why we pay? And it scares me a little bit. I don't know what is the conversation as an agent we should have with the list when we go to listing appointment to ask them to pay.
Well, first off, the attorneys are gonna get all the money, and they're gonna get about $15.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not gonna get any money, tell them not to even think about getting any money. And second off, like I said, I think in that conversation, get off that topic, tell them just like I just said, and then move on to, let's get your own listed to get us sold.
So what do I say to new person? I go to listing appointment, my commission is 3%.
Yep.
Now how do I start asking to pay to the other side?
Well, you tell them that the co-op on the other side is no longer in the MLS. It'll be negotiated when they send over an offer.
So
Is what I always say.
bring with you an RPA, so you can show them on top of page 2, this is where the buyer/buyer's agent is going to ask for. So you can have anywhere between, 2, 3.
Well, and the other thing too, the commission is, for the buyer side, is gonna be based on their offer.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, if you're selling a $400,000 home and the offer comes in at 300, you're not getting a co-op. Right? I mean, so that's in the bolts of, I think the system that we have now, especially as a listing agent, it's awesome. Because
I
you
agree.
base it on the
So
commission
don't
that
say
offers.
anything really,
Yeah,
because-
I let them know that the co-op is still there, we just don't, we're not gonna get a number on it, because the RPA, they're gonna ask for their, what they would
When you
like.
go to your
And-
listing
and-
appointment, bring the second page to the purchase
Yeah,
agreement.
and I
The
would
top
still,
will explain everything you need to explain.
I would still
Basically,
do a
someone's
net
gonna ask
sheet
for that,
for
so that's what
them,
you gotta do.
and in that net sheet, put 3% in there, and highlight it and said, this number can change, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 0.
You know, I had an agent the other day said something I thought was pretty cool. He said, I'm gonna charge you 3%.
Yes,
They're gonna ask for what they're gonna ask, but my job is to make sure we pay no more than X, whatever that X is.
right.
And you focus on that opposed to what your charge is. So I just love that. I like that. He's very, very successful, by the way, so.
Go ahead,
Rich,
Rick,
somebody.
go ahead. Yeah.
Me?
Yep.
Okay. This may be the dumbest question you've ever heard asked, but how important is it to get
Dumber than what
certified?
gift are we gonna give everybody?
Patience.
I hope-
I worked
Patient.
on that question.
I hope it's worth asking. But how important is it to get certified as an ADR? Is it a must-do, a nice-to-do, or a who cares?
That's a great question.
That's a great question,
That's
yeah.
a great question.
Right.
For me, the designations are important, but not for the letters on your business card. It's for the education that you're going to get so that you could better serve your buyers and sellers.
Yeah,
And I think to Richard's point, or someone said it before, Realtor.info, Fax.Realtor, there's 15 now, I think, consumer guides that NAR created. It's one page, explaining the mortgage process, explaining the BBRA, explaining.
They're awesome.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they're not for us, they're for you to give to your client when you
Yeah.
go on a listing appointment.
Oh, that's
Or
great.
give to your buyer when you're going on a buyer's appointment. You have to have those guides. You should have them with you in your little toolkit.
Richard, I think anytime you can educate yourself and be better is better. I think what Mark says is great. You don't need to put the numbers on your card, who cares? But at the end of the day, if you got more knowledge versus, especially because of the buyer situation we're in right now, you guys, I think you better be better prepared to be a buyer's agent if that's what you're gonna do.